Hello and welcome back to my craft room. Well, I was just going to collect up all my stitching stuff and take downstairs to do a bit of quiet stitching this evening, but I just got home from Tom's and waiting for me was an unexpected parcel. I know who it's from. This is from Bizaarre and I'm quite excited because I know that Jo from Bizaarre has been putting together some new little packs with some of the new finds that she brought home from India this trip. So I don't know if that's what this is or something else. Certainly smaller than their usual bundles. That's what's making me think. So yeah, there's no address showing. Let's take you to the desk. So these are the mailers that the Bizaarre goodies come in. Bizaarre, if you're a regular viewer, you will most certainly have heard me rave about them before. They sell all kinds of things, clothes and jewellery and household things that are made over in India, and Jo has worked very closely with people over there for many years now, and she goes on foraging trips over there, buying loads of lovely stuff and brings them back. You know, they don't just kind of buy them in, you know, she goes over there and works closely with people, and it's all fair trade and it's all ethically sound, and you know, I love the way they work. They're a lovely team, quite a small company, and I met them all last year at the summer event, so yeah, I feel even closer to them now, and I just, yeah, very happy to recommend what they do because they're just brilliant. And every so often they send me bundles of their gorgeous scrap packs. Scrap packs were my first love with Bizaarre. I just love them. I love what you can do with them. I'll tell you a bit more about them as we go in. I have shown the other scrap packs before. I'll link my Bizaarre playlist to this in the description box, so you can have a look at previous ones that I've opened and projects that I've made with these scrap packs. They're all reclaimed fabrics that would otherwise be a waste from the textile industry, and there'll be cottons and silks. You'll get the odd velvets and things, brocades. Each of the scrap bundles now includes a gorgeous embroidered patchwork piece. They're so beautiful. But they have done some special bundles as well, and these are new. I think that's what I'm going to find in here. I'm aware that I'm rambling probably a bit, you know, probably not quite making sense, but hopefully most people watching this will have seen me open these before, so you'll know what I'm going on about. I'm really tired. I'm actually really tired now, and should probably have left this till the morning, but I can't wait, and I couldn't not share this moment of excitement with you, so let's have a look. They always use these compostable mailers, and if you cut them down the strip, you'll see there's another peel off sticky strip here, so you can easily use this again to mail something else. And eventually, once you've finished using it, you can actually put them in your home compost. Very excited. Other than that, I don't use any plastic packaging in there. They're online products, and they always come in these beautiful sari bags, which, you know, so they're reclaimed fabrics from saris, and I've got a huge collection of sari bags now in all different colours and things, which I might think about making into a top or something. I can feel it. It's what I thought. So I know that Jo had been. I'll try and remember to link to the Bizaarre Facebook page as well, where Jo's been doing some kind of I suppose you'd call them vlogs these days, but you know, little videos of some of her adventures. Hunting down beautiful things, including our scraps. I say our scraps for the bundles that we're going to buy. I did see her with some kantha scraps, and I thought this looked about the right shape and size, and I can feel the kantha stitching. Oh, look. Oh, lovely. Look at this. Oh, I'm going to do something fabulous with that. Let's have a look. Now Jo's put a card in here, and there's another bundle. This is something different. Oh, what is this? This is more, but it's bigger. So let's see what Jo says. She always does these lovely cards. So these are all made with bits and pieces from their from the range of doodads and things that they sell. Let's have a look at this first. Hiya, Annie. 2 new scrap bundles for you here. The cotton kantha contains minimum 10 pieces, and the silk kantha bundles contain a minimum of 20 pieces. Okie dokie. So I'm like, this is cotton, this is silk. So although that's 20 pieces and this is 10, silk, that cotton is going to be much more bulky. There might also be larger pieces as well. Let's see what this is in here. So this is the Bizaarre team. So Tola and Ella, they are the 2 that put together the bundles I opened last time. So this is the bundle I opened last time, or it was 2 bundles together. I can't show you them in their bundles anymore because they've been opened. You can kind of see there were 2 bundles there, but I've mixed everything up a little bit. One was done by Tola and one was by Ella, and everyone has a very different style of putting the scrap packs together, so it was interesting to see. But they were both absolutely beautiful, and these are the patchwork pieces that you get with each of the sort of standard scrap bundles now. Loads in there. If you want to see what was inside there, check out that Bizaarre playlist, and it'll probably be the last one or the last but one that I did. Oh, I've left a bit behind. Look at all these beauties. Oh no, that was this is the bijou bundle that they sent recently. I put it all inside this, which came as a little freebie with it. If you do order any of the scrap bundles from Bizaarre, make sure you put Arty Farty Annie Treat in the note to seller, or add a note box at the end at checkout, and you'll get a little extra doodad in your order, which is always lovely. And this was one of my extra doodads. So this was the bijou bundle, which gives you a little sample of all the different kinds of fabrics and things that they do. I have so much fun with these. I've got some lovely projects planned for Bizaarre coming up. Anyway, let's get back to the job in hand. Let's see what Ella says. Dear Annie, hope you're enjoying the beginning of spring. Joe's been very busy in India sourcing exciting new scraps. They're such lovely people. Meeting them all last year, it was like I felt like part of the family. They were so welcoming. Here are 2 new bundles fresh in from India. So these must have arrived home even before Joe got home, I should think. Both are kantha-stitched handwork, 1 cotton, 1 silk. Now, we don't know how much they are. I might look that up in a minute, or you can just check it out on the website. But forget to look, you can check it on the website. I think the normal bundles are $16.50 now, the ones I've just shown you. The bijou bundle, I can't remember. I better not say in case I get it wrong. So I'm not sure how much these are going to be, but let's have a look. Shall we have a look at the cotton one first? So they don't put them in any plastic anymore. Whatever, they'll bundle them up like this, tie them with cord and things, which of course you can retrieve and reuse, and they'll put the whole lot inside a sari bag, which is lovely. They're lovely for storing the fabrics in. I always, not always, I usually put my scraps through a delicates wash first. I throw them all back inside the sari bag they came in and put them through a delicates wash, because they can be a bit dusty and stuff, and they can cause sensitivities and things. So it's just, they've had a life. So yeah, sometimes I don't bother. These are lovely. Look, I love this. All of these have, all of their scrap things have all been kind of retrieved. They're waste from the textile industry, they're garments that have been miscut or are recycled or whatever, so they've all had a previous life, and I love to look at them and work out what they came from. With these pieces, I think we're going to get more kind of straight standard cut pieces, and we know we've got, was it 10 pieces in here? Yeah, 10 pieces in here. It said minimum of 10 in the cotton, didn't it, and minimum of 20 in the silk. So let's have a look. And of course with these pieces they're going to be I was going to say double-sided, but many layered actually, and you get this gorgeous kantha stitching through all the layers. That is lovely. I love it. So I mean, although I do love the feel, the thickness of that, it's thick but it's soft, and I love the stitching through it. If you wanted to, there would be nothing to stop you separating out these layers and using the pieces separately. These lovely fine kind of almost sheer cotton, some of these. So there's several thicknesses in this area, Yeah, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. In places there are 4 layers in that piece. I just love that. I love it. I love it. I'm going to have so much fun coming up with projects to use these. Oh. So let's have a look. I always go on too long on my Bizaarre openings. So let's try and rein it in a bit, Annie. Look at these. I wish I could feel them. Oh, look at that. I love how you get a completely different look on one side to the other. Look. This one feels very different. This is kind of more crisp feeling. Lovely. Oh, that's my favourite so far. That is my favourite. And although it's already got all that straight stitching, there's no reason why I couldn't add more stitching, kind of outline these flowers or do a bit of thread painting or whatever takes your fancy. Same here. That's a very different style, isn't it? So you've got that quite thick thread there, quite large but regular stitches there. It's got a thick thread, but there's it's not as thick and it's smaller stitches. Here it's a coloured thread. There's some red and yellow there, and much smaller stitches. Very different style. Each one done by a different hand. Just makes me wonder about the person who stitched these together, you know. I just love these. I could make them up into one big quilt, couldn't I? Perhaps because I'd want to be able to see both sides, so I think the best thing would be to do like a French seam there. Yeah, stitch the whole thing into a beautiful quilt. Or you could make slow stitched vessels with them. Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at that. I love. And I watched it. It's so funny to think, you know, I've watched the videos with Jo in the tailors' workshops and things, looking at all these out spread out on the big tables. And there was one point where she was still going through all of these, unfolding them and rolling them up and things, and filming them on her phone and talking to us on the phone. And the poor guy was wanted to close his workshop. She's sort of saying, "Did you want to close up and go home?" And he's going, "Yes, please." And she can't drag herself away from these beautiful pieces. These are absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? I love them. Probably more likely to use these for something like a quilt or a vessel where you're going to see both sides. Absolutely beautiful, those. So how many pieces was that? They're good sizes, all of them. So with the normal scraps you'll get anything from quite little scraps like that up to some quite sizable pieces, but they'll be irregularly shaped. You'll get sleeves from garments sometimes, you know, all sorts of odd shapes and sizes. There will be some damage to them, so there will be some faded bits. They're absolutely fascinating. I love working with them. I find them very inspiring. These are really different because they're quite regular cut pieces, and you know you're going to get at least 10 pieces. Let's see how many we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That felt like more than one, but it's just a thick one. Look at all the layers. 11. So I've got 11 pieces there. Plus my lovely piece of cord. And of course my gorgeous sari bag. I think I probably will. They feel a little bit dusty. I probably will, just to be on the safe side. I will just chuck these through a delicate wash tonight, and the silks, everything, they all go through a delicate wash fine. So that's what I'll probably do. These are the silk ones. There should be at least 20 pieces. Save that little piece of string to use. Oh, look at these. Yum, 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 yum. Mouth's watering. Goose pimples going up. So these are smaller pieces, but you've got twice as many. So, oh, they're lovely. They feel so nice. Different colour stitching on this one. Oh, I just feel so inspired by these. Look at that. I wish I had feely vision for you. So they're complete. I assume you can't choose colourways with these. With the scrap bundles, you've got, I think, 6 different colourways to choose from. The normal, this is what I think of as the standard scrap bundles. So you've got reds, pinks, greens, blues, purple and black. Can't remember exactly. I think it's 6 though. I'm assuming with these you get a mixture. Oh, I love that. It's one of my favourite colours. Gorgeous. These would make a lovely soft scarf as well. Again, if you just did a little French seam, or is it called a flat fell seam, where it's a bit like a French seam but then it goes down flat, I don't know. But yeah, something like that, so that you've got no raw edges. But you can still see both sides, because both sides are beautiful. Love the colours of threads they're using here as well. I'm more used to seeing them with all kind of white stitching, which I also love. I did ask Jo if there's any chance she might be able to source some of that thread, because I'd love to have some of this thread that they use. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, look at that. Love that print. Jo's actually a fabric designer herself, so lots of the prints and things that they have made for the garments that you see, because they're the clothes that they sell, are lovely. So I was wearing the top that they sent me yesterday. Shame I'm not wearing it today. But I wonder if that was one of their block printed designs. I wonder if that was one of Jo's own designs. But yeah, I love how they work so closely with people over there. Get everything made over there, and you know, give them a fair price for their work. You know, it's all fair trade. You can tell she has by the way she speaks with them and stuff, and you can tell that she has a good relationship with them. How beautiful is that? I'm loving these bundles. Oh, look, quite a lot of this one, which is nice because I love it. I say quite a lot, so we've got, what, 3 or 4 pieces of it there. These are fab. This is going to be a different kind of Bazaar experience for me this time. So instead of having all this kind of different types and textures of fabrics and different pieces and shapes and things to use, it's going to be a different kind of process for me this time. A new challenge, which I'm going to thoroughly enjoy. God, these are gorgeous. Wonderful, wonderful. So these are a little bit more varied in size, aren't they? So that's probably the smallest. This is probably among the largest, I would say. I especially love this combo. But I love them all. I love that too. Let's see how many pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I'm assuming if they, as it's like minimum 20 pieces, that I've got a couple of pieces here that are a little bit smaller, so maybe that's why there's 21, not 20. You know, that's the kind of thing they usually do. They very much kind of go with their heart when they make up these bundles. I'm thrilled to bits with those. I'm just going to spread them out a bit and get a nice colourful thumbnail. Although it's hard to show them really. Get my mug out of the way, and I'm going to quickly have a look at the website so I can let you know how much these are. Bear with. Well, that's really good value. This cotton one that's only £12.50, that bundle. I think that's absolutely brilliant. And the silk one is only £17.50. And as I said, I know that looks smaller, but you've got 21 pieces there. Silk is always sort of obviously hasn't got so much volume. That is really good value. really good. And I see they've also got a Borders scrap bundle, which is $14.50. Let me just check what it says about that. Gorgeous sparkly border scrap pieces, minimum of 10 pieces per bundle. All bundles are unique. Yeah, this one it just says most pieces are square or rectangular, ranging slightly in size, but yeah, it's not huge. Yeah, they're pretty much regular size. There we go. Well, I've managed to keep that, for me, for a Bizaarre opening. I've kept that relatively short and sweet. Thrilled to bits with those. As I say, that's going to be quite a different process for me this time, using these kind of more regular shaped pieces and all different colours. I've got so much to play with there. I'm going to have a good old think about how to put these to best use, but I've already got 2 or 3 ideas buzzing in my mind. And what do you think? What would you do with these? I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I will leave all the links as promised in the description box. Don't forget, if you order anything, don't forget to put Arty Farty Annie Tree in the little note to sellers box at the end. It's quite small, you have to look for it. It doesn't go in the bit that says promo code, it's underneath that, where you've got a list of whatever you're buying and the total and stuff. Underneath that bit is tiny little writing. There's one that says promo code. That's where you put your Bizaarre free postage if you're going over whatever amount it is. And under that it says something like add a note or note to seller. That's where you put Arty Farty Annie Tree and you get your little extra something. The other important thing to say is don't be put off if you're not in the UK. They are UK based, but they do send all over the place. There are probably some places they don't send to, but they definitely send to US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. I think the last place they mentioned that they were sending to was Brazil. There was a parcel on the way to Brazil. So yeah, they will send anywhere, but you can't put the order through in the normal way. You will think you can, it will let you get through as far as checkout, and then it will say no, we don't deliver to your area. Not true, they do, but you need to email them. There's a little contact tab on the website. You can say, have a look through, decide what you want, email them, tell them where you are, what you want, and they'll then quote you for the cost of the shipping. Obviously it's going to cost you more for postage if you're not in the UK, but what a few people have told me recently is they've made it worth their while. They've waited and ordered enough bundles to make it worth the postage, and they've had a massive parcel delivered. So yeah, I think what they do is charge you postage up to, is it like up to 2 kilograms in weight? They literally just charge you what it costs them. So I know a couple of people have said to me, oh, I just said make it up to 2 kilograms. So yeah, don't think that you can't buy if you're not in the UK. And a few people have said, do you know anywhere like this in the States? I don't, but then I'm not in the States. If anybody does find anywhere in the States or whatever, you know, feel free to share it in the comments. I don't know if anyone else is doing anything quite like this, but I haven't looked because I just love Bizaarre. So it's not just what they sell, it's how they do it, it's how they do business that I love. I'm very, very happy to share these little parcels with you and show you what they do. I will be coming back to share some new Bizaarre projects soon. I'm very excited that this summer, I went to their summer event last year, met up with Marion, who's in the Facebook group, and we had the most amazing day. We went for the Bhangra night, and we stayed all day in it and stayed for the Bhangra night, and it was just the most amazing day. Lots of lovely entertainment. All the members of the team all did different kinds of entertainment. The food was amazing. Alex, that's Joe's partner, cooked thali, and which was delicious. There was Indian music, there was Bhangra dancing, and as well as, of course, all the amazing stalls and all of Bizaarre's wares laid out. I mean, just, it was fabulous. Anyway, so this year Marion is going to help me, and we're going to do like a slow stitching corner, a slow stitching table or a couple of tables where Joe's going to put some scraps and things out, and we'll bring needles and everything else you need, and you can sit and do a bit of slow stitching with us. So if you're anywhere if you can get to the Sussex Prairie Gardens on the 16th of August, and we might do the 17th as well. And please come and join us for that. But I would recommend any of their events are probably amazing. That's just the one that I've been to. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling now and go and do a bit of stitching and a bit of thinking. You can see my eyes keep wandering back to this because I want to go through it all again. What I probably will do now is, this is what I will tend to do with scrap packs, is I'll gather all this lot up just as it is, and I will throw it back inside the sari bag so that nothing escapes, and I will put that through my delicates wash, and then I spread it all out, hang it all out on my clothes area, and it dries overnight, or during the day out in the conservatory or something. And you can iron it as well on a cool iron, the silk obviously on a cooler iron, but I don't find I need to, so yeah. Anyway, I'm really going now. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye.